I honestly don't know why I am even writing this. It's not like anyone's going to believe me anyway. Maybe it's just to get it out of my head. Maybe it's some kind of warning. I don't know. Last October, I went hiking alone near Mount Hood. I was trying to get away from everything. Work, noise, people. I found this spot on an old Forest Service map called Owl Hollow near Jordan Creek. Sounded perfect, secluded, quiet, barely even mentioned online. The first few hours were fine, peaceful even. Just the sound of the creek and my boots crunching gravel. It felt good, like I could breathe again. But sometime in the afternoon, that feeling started creeping in. You know, the one, like somebody's watching you. At first I tried to shake it off, told myself I was being stupid. Big woods, alone, of course, you are going to feel jumpy. But it kept getting worse. Around 3 p.m., I looked off the trail into the trees and there were a pair of eyes staring at me through the bushes. Not blinking, just watching. It wasn't a deer. I know what deer look like. This was different. Lower to the ground, wrong shape, no sound at all. I kept hiking, probably faster than I should have. About an hour later, I came around a bend and there they were. A man and a woman standing in the middle of the trail. I don't know how to explain it. Everything about them just felt off immediately. Their clothes were weird, like they had walked out of an old photograph. Faded colors, stiff fabric, almost dusty. I tried to say hello, maybe ask if they needed help, but my voice just kinda died. They didn't say anything either, just stared. And when they passed me, they both turned their heads at the same time and smiled. I can't even describe it right. It wasn't human. Their mouths stretched way too wide and their teeth were wrong, sharp and dirty. And their eyes turned black, not like dark irises black, like bottomless pits. I almost threw up. I almost ran. But they just kept walking like nothing had happened, disappearing into the woods behind me. I should have left right then. I should have turned around, sprinted back to my truck, never looked back. But I didn't. I kept going, dumbass. By the time I set up camp that night, my hands were shaking so bad I could barely get the tent up. It didn't matter. I wasn't sleeping anyway. As the sun went down, the woods around me got wrong, too quiet. No birds, no bugs, nothing but the creek and the sound of my own heart pounding in my ears. Then I started seeing them. First one, then two, then more. 17 or 18 of them crouched in the trees peeking from behind rocks, half buried in the tall grass, all with the same twisted smiles, all with those black eyes. I sat there by the fire, clenching my pistol, feeling like I was gonna pass out from terror. They didn't move. They didn't get closer. They just watched. I don't know what snapped, but I stood up and fired 2 shots straight into the air. Sound echoed through the trees, sharp and painful. They didn't even flinch. That's when I ran. I grabbed my bag and ran like my life depended on it. Because honestly, I think it did. I don't remember getting back to the car. I don't even remember driving home. I just remember slamming the door behind me and sitting there in the dark for hours, shaking, gun still in my hand. I haven't told anybody until now. People would think I'm crazy. Hell, I think I am crazy sometimes when I replay it in my head. But I know what I saw, and I'm telling you, if you ever find yourself near Owl Hollow, turn around. Get out while you can. Some places are better off forgotten. Trying to get this story out so someone can help me make sense of it, or maybe refer me to a psychologist, Lamo. Hi all. In January, my son's dad committed suicide by gunshot wound in our bathroom. A team came out and cleared the blood up and pulled up the flooring and walls. But the thing I can't quite get over is the awful smell that was left in his bedroom. Backstory: we weren't in a relationship but were living together. He had his own room, I had mine. The house smelled absolutely fine. His room was always clean, swept, mopped, incense and wall plugins. After the incident, my son and I left the home for about a month, and only to return to actually move out our belongings. My son's dad's room was basically empty, but the smell that lingered in there was awful. It smelled like a cup of chicken noodles were left out for months to rot. Mind you, the smell was never around while he was living, and I only noticed it after he passed. I often wanted to dry heave and gag smelling it. It was a heavy just stank that lingered in the nose. Opening windows and doors did not help. Well, it did for a little bit, but soon the smell came back. I scrubbed the walls with cleaning solution, mopped the floors heavy, and still the smell lingered. Does this sound like a spirit? I haven't really gotten closure from his death, so I'm trying to understand if it's his spirit that may be lingering in the space or whatever was attached to him. Since moving, I haven't smelt the smell, so I'm so confused. Also, there were no food, drinks, snacks, rotten anything left in the space. No other part of the home smelled like it but there. I'm just curious on what exactly that was. I'm new to a lot of this. Thank you all. Update to say, I visited the home several times while not living fully in it, as well as spending a few nights in it to grieve and cope, so no one had access or broke in, just in case someone asks if someone may have gotten access. Extra update to add extra details. The bedroom where he killed himself was not attached to the bedroom with a smell. When moving, friends smelled the smell coming from his room and his room only. The house was professionally cleaned. They removed all traces of blood. He did not have an exit wound, so there were no stains left on walls or flooring. It took about 6 to 7 hours for them to fully clean. Prior to his passing, I had a friend staying with us who had a brother who committed suicide a year prior. She dealt with bad depression as well, and my mom kept pressing me to get her out of my home because something ain't right with her. Depression doesn't always show, I'm aware of that, but my son's dad was doing pretty good until my friend moved in. He also only made suicidal remarks to her the day he did it, not to anyone else. She didn't tell me anything about it and has not spoken to me since. Hello everyone, I'm Audrey Rohn, 42 years old. For the past few years, once a month, bodies identical to mine have been found mutilated in the area. And I don't mean lookalikes or people altered to resemble me. These are clones. I know that this sounds impossible, but in reality, the technology has been possible for at least 9 years. People clone all sorts of animals, usually dogs. They take a sample, make an artificial sperm, and then inject it into an egg. And then a normal pregnancy occurs. It is concerning that the bodies fluctuate with age. Sometimes they are the same age as me. Sometimes they're 20. And on truly awful days, they have been younger. And seeing as they pop up every month without fail. Whatever is doing this has a dependable source. It took a while for people to understand what was happening. At first, they assumed I was part of a set of twins, but now that the body count has reached 72, that theory is obviously absurd. Both of my parents have passed away, and I am an only child. In the beginning, the remains were barely recognizable, just garbage bags filled with what looked like meat hidden deep in the woods. At first, the killings were thought to be missing teens or other drifters, but eventually, one of the bodies had my head on it, and one of the officers recognized me because I sold his son a car at my job. And when they went to investigate my house, they were shocked to see me there. So then I gave them a swab and they checked it. Over time, whatever is doing this has grown bolder, dumping the bodies in public places I frequently visit. It's crazy to actually wake up one morning and find out you're dead. I thought angels or the Grim Reaper would be involved. Authorities have confirmed the bodies are human, but many are missing vital organs, usually the brain, lungs, but sometimes limbs are absent as well. It's also believed that not all of them were killed, assuming they were ever truly alive to begin with. On Christmas of 2021, I woke up hungover from that party I held at my house the night before, came down, went to the kitchen to get my morning coffee. My kitchen is directly to the right of my living room, and my living room has these glass doors that go out of my deck out back, and there was a giant comical present right outside. At first, I thought it was just a simple joke from my friends because every year I make a big stink about not wanting anything because I personally like to provide for others and hate being a burden. And so they got me something while I was asleep as a sorta, haha, enjoy it, you Grinch. But instead, I opened the box and inside was the body wearing Santa-themed lingerie and written on its stomach in my shade of lipstick, "Merry Christmas, thanks for the F." That was the first time I found a body, so now I spend every holiday at the police station. They are nice people, but it's apparent my already shaky relationship with festivities and being the center of attention has gotten worse. I don't wear makeup anymore either. The police are investigating, but progress in the case has stagnated, beside the fact that bodies keep popping up. We do fear that eventually one of the bodies will actually be me, so I have been forced to undergo daily surveillance and wellness checks, along with constant harassment from news outlets trying to get a fresh scoop. But instead of letting a bunch of shameless ghouls profit off of me, I'm just going to inform the people directly. Feel free to ask me anything.